Did you know the Old Testament character Naomi struggled with her mental health? I took this straight from the website gotquestions.org to freshen our memory of Naomi, or to perhaps learn about her for the first time. The story of Naomi appears in the Bible in the book of Ruth. Naomi lived during the time of the judges. She was the wife of a man named Elimelech, and they lived in Bethlehem with their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion. Naomi's life illustrates the power of God to bring something good out of bitter circumstances. When a famine hits Judea, Elimelech and Naomi and their two boys relocate to Moab. There, their sons marry two Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. And after about 10 years, tragedy strikes. Elimelech dies, and both of Naomi's sons also die, leaving Naomi, Ruth, and Orpah widows. Now Naomi, hearing that the famine in Judea was over, decides to return home. And Orpah stays in Moab, but Ruth chooses to move to the land of Israel with Naomi. The book of Ruth is the story of Naomi and Ruth returning to Bethlehem, and how Ruth married a man named Boaz and bore a son, Obed, who became the grandfather of David and the ancestor of Jesus Christ. In part of Ruth 1, verses 13 through 14, Naomi says to her daughter-in-laws, "It is exceedingly bitter to me for your sake that the hand of the Lord has gone out against me." Then they lifted up their voices and wept again. And a little later in verses 20 and 21, Naomi says this to the women of Bethlehem, "Do not call me Naomi, call me Mara, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. I went away full, and the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has testified against me, and the Almighty has brought calamity upon me?" So Naomi lost her husband, and both her sons died. That's about as awful as it gets. Try to put yourself in her shoes as much as you're able. What's she experiencing? What's her mental, emotional, and spiritual state? Obviously, she's experiencing deep grief, sadness, hopeless, depressed, downhearted, discouraged, afflicted, confused, despair. One thing is certain. Naomi knew pain. She knew what it was like to suffer with her mental health. So if you are suffering with your mental health right now, please know that you're not alone. Hope and healing is always possible.